Thank you, Iain. Very good presentation. I hope that was very insightful. You spoiled a few things, Iain, because Iain is going to show you the interface, but you've seen some of it already. But it's okay. It shows that we are all excited about this new feature and interface that Priority is bringing. One word to remember, one priority. One priority. That's like, that shows that it's not like one product fit all business, but it's under one umbrella. You have like a specialist product, serving every sector of your businesses. Good. I will hand over to Iain, who is going to do the version 23.1 new release. Thank you.
Thank you, Fodi. Hello, welcome, everyone. Those of you that don't know me, I'm Iain. I'm the sales manager. I've been at Medatech for 9 years now. Yeah, I had dark hair when I started. Thanks, guys. Firstly, Mia, thanks for putting up the most unflattering photograph I've ever seen of me standing pointing like this for 10 minutes. Thanks to Gil for previewing my entire presentation. So the 30 minutes actually will be quite short, maybe four and a half minutes. The good news is that all that stands between you and the coffee break is me. So I'm going to focus on 23.1. There is some features from version 23. Out of interest, who is on 23 already? Any early takers? Sorry? Communication is everything in presentations. Plug the thing in is usually a good place to start. Yeah. There we go. Sorry, I missed that. Who's on version 23? I wonder why Jack put his hand up and said he was on 23. I know you're on 23. 1, 2, okay. All right, so a couple of these things you'll have seen already, but for everybody else, I'm going to go in live and show you. 23.1 is available now. If you go to our website, go to tutorials, go to version release notes, then you'll see version 23.1 is there. You'll see, as Gil mentioned, Priority's got a new logo, it's rebranded, it's got a nice modern feel, fresh interface, and this spills through into the product. Let's go straight in and have a look at Priority. Okay, so this is the new desktop that Gil mentioned. It operates in exactly the same way as previously. So we have portlets, we have tiles. As you can see, intuitively, these are forms, BI, reports, documents, and process. Don't know if any of you noticed recently, the tiles were enhanced with a magnifying glass and a plus sign. If, for example, in sales orders, I just click the middle of the tile, it will open up the sales order form and bring back my default query, in this case, confirmed orders. But the new option is now, if I was to open the sales order form, but by clicking on the magnifying glass, then automatically it takes me into the form and it goes into query mode without me having to make another click. Conversely, if I'd gone into sales orders and selected the plus sign, then it goes in data entry mode rather than query mode. So they're small changes, they're just little time savers. And you see this all the way through the release. Wherever possible, they've cut actions down to make the system as slick and as usable as possible. Okay. New feature while we're in sales orders. If you're a business which has to generate lots of new customers, maybe you've got a over-the-counter type business. This worries me when people run across the front of me. Okay. Have we not paid the rent on that or something? Oh, great. Great. Yeah. no one wants the big boss watching me make the presentation. That's no pressure at all, is it? Thanks for that. Oh, the joys, the joys. Right, so sales orders. Businesses that have lots of new customers, potentially customers we're not going to sell to again, hopefully we will, but we need a quick way of setting up a customer on the fly. And this applies equally in sales orders, quotations, and invoices. So I'm going to put on a sales order for a customer that's new to me. If we hit the select list for customer, there's a new option down at the bottom now, which is create record. If I click that, it brings up a dialog box. I don't need to go into the customer form. This lets me input this information on the fly. Customer name, F1 Cars, obviously. That then creates the customer, gives it a number, and I can save that, and we're into the form, ready to start adding lines. So ideal for customers that need to create new customers quickly and as efficiently as possible. Okay, let's bring back a existing record. Let's go for sales orders and take the first one. Okay, so another feature that Gil kindly mentioned is the new icons on the form here. One is for history. So here we can see the status changes that have happened to this document. So you can see I've been having a play with it, all color-coded, changing the status from draft to confirmed. Equally, we can see any changes that have happened to this document. So the idea is we've moved this subform where it's potentially a few clicks away onto the main screen so you can get to it straight away. Equally, we have the new attachments. So if we click this history back, and if I click on attachments, you'll see I've got a couple of files attached to this document now, and it fully supports drag and drop. So if I was to grab this file, just drop it in, and that will attach the document. It would do if I change the status from confirmed back to draft. You've got to put these things in, otherwise you think you're watching a video. It's just too slick. So I'll just do that again. I'll grab the attachment, drag it in, and it's attached it now. There is a note here which says remember to change it back to draft status that I completely ignored. But that's when you try and do two things at a time, as my wife often tells me. Okay, what else have we got? New addition to the more details side panel. If we click in here, I'm in sales orders on the customer name. If I click on the I, it takes me to the more details side panel. Now this is driven by AI. So based on your previous behavior, the system looks at what you're most likely to want to see in this window, and it populates it with that information. You can, of course, edit that if you wish. Click on the selection, and you can deselect any of those items in that box. Also, this level searches has been enhanced. If I switch to a list view. Now, if I'm looking at customer, if I click on the filter, there's been a new addition of empty or not empty in the search field. That's in at 23.1. And also in search, it's possible now to have a delete. So the delete icon's been added. So if you generated saved searches that you want to remove, then you can do it in here. Finally, in this section is Help Book. Help Book has been introduced to replace wizards. Those of you that are familiar with the older system, we have wizards in each of the modules. Now on all of the forms, Help Book's been added. So if I click on the Help Book, then in here we have any related videos, standard operating procedures, any frequently asked questions. So this is focusing all of the help information in one small area, easy to get to and pertinent to the form that you have open at the time. Okay, next is those eagle-eyed amongst you may have spotted this new little icon down here. This is Priority Analytics, so let's run it. And what this enables me to do is to put in one area all of my reports, my user reports that I use on a frequent basis. I don't have to go popping them on the desktop, I don't have to put them in a menu, they're all here in one place. And this also forms the basis of the new report generator. So if I want to generate a new report, we select the base report that I want to copy it from. So I'm going to start out with perhaps vendor invoices. Vendor invoices as my base form. We'll give it a new name. Let's call it vendor invoices me. And now I can add the required fields. So I'll select perhaps the date record, or maybe the details. And if we move down to the bottom of the list, any of the subforms are also in here. So we might select attachments, we might select history of changes, value and date. So now this, when we save it, will produce this for us, and we can then store that in our list of reports and run it. So it's a much slicker, a much easier way of defining reports. Have a look, get the release notes, it's all detailed in there. Yeah, that's it. Lovely. Okay. Now, the next thing on the user interface is the new Personalization Center. I'll have to switch just quickly to the presentation to show this. The Personalization Center is this new icon that appears at the top of the bar. And in here, hopefully, as you've been using the system, you start to get recommendations on this is a form which is not frequently used. Do you want me to hide it? This is a form which or a process which you use frequently, would you like a shortcut? And it's very easy to say, oh, maybe I'll do it later. And you click maybe later, and then you completely forget about it. So what the Personalization Center does is it groups these together. So when you have got a moment with a cup of coffee, you can click Personalization Center, and they'll all be in there that you can then go and apply at the convenient time. Gil briefly showed this, a new select option. If we were populating a form, a sales order, or a quotation, now it's possible to display the list with multiple options. You could search or filter. In this case, we've filtered on part family for bicycle parts. So now I can multi-select the bicycle, helmet, and a bell in one process. Click OK, and those lines all go into the subform of the quotation or order. New forms being added. Those of you that run MRP, it holds a history of all the MRP runs, and on each of those lines you can see a summary in the subform of the parameters that we use at that particular MRP run. So you've got a step back through your MRP history. Also, as mentioned earlier, you now have multi-view mode in Priority Mobile. There is a specific presentation following the coffee break on Priority Mobile. James is handling that, so he'll go into more detail. But just a few of the useful points. We can use the same priority form in the same app as many times as we wish. And we've got new features such as saved searches and have different searches on the mobile than you have on your desktop system. Also now we have offline mode. Let's take the scenario where you're a service engineer, you're servicing a lift, so you're in a metal box in a concrete shaft, you've got no chance of getting a Wi-Fi signal or a mobile signal. So now, in order to record the information from the service, we use questionnaires. So you're offline, the engineer can complete the questionnaire with all the technical details. Once it comes back in and gets online, then that data will be uploaded into the system for use. Also support for crates has been added to the mobile app. there's not a great deal to say about financials. I'm not going to stand here and read a slide to you. All of this information is in the release notes. Please download them and have a look, both in financials. This means more to you than it means to me. I say that. I've been married to an accountant for 20 years, and it still just goes straight over my head. One area that has been improved is in the control of perpetual inventory. So there's some new functionality in there to enable that. I know that some businesses have tried for a while to get that 100%. So now it should be an easier journey. In WMS, some improvements, configurable put strategy, and the same for WMS mobile, including printing documents from the mobile itself. One thing just to finish on is the new version release notes. Now, if you have a look, you'll see a highlight as to whether the development has come as a customer request or as a new behavior that's been introduced as a functional improvement. In this version, I believe there are 50 new features that are entirely customer driven. So we do meet regularly with priority. We do feedback your requirements, and they do listen, and they do change the software. It's likely if you have a request, somebody else has a similar request, and that will then find its way, hopefully, into a new version. So that was my brief introduction to the new features. As I say, they're in the release notes. Please download them, and any questions, then please come and find me today. Okay, thank you.